At the risk of getting locked up, wrapped in a straitjacket, and transported to Jamestown, I'm going to step out on a limb here, people, and tell you about 9 o'clock yesterday morning when I was running the dogs, because they need the exercise, not me. It was snowing, and with that nice, beautiful breeze blowing in from the north, it was almost like a ground blizzard out there about a mile west of town here. How do I know? Because I was in it. The dogs were confused. One would jump in, one would jump out. It was a cluster, you know what? Charlie Foxtrot. Hey, 38 degrees, and that snow was different, people. That snow was very, very cold, almost like it was chemically created. I do believe they called it ice nucleation. Do the Google. Check it out for yourself. Another thing here, if the things that go bump in the night down here at level 7, deep underground military base, are occupied by tying knots in my headphone cord, leaving me alone in the process, I guess I can live with it. Every morning it is amazing, and I purposely take the knots out when I take these off after the end of a podcast. Alright, morning people. I'm going to need not 1, not 2, but 3 Bible verses today, and you'll get over it. No, geez, oh no, Dave's making us go to church, and it ain't even Sunday, WTF. Patience, people. Hear me out. You might have forgotten, and new subs wouldn't not even know anything about it. My promise to deliver on my take on what is the strong delusion referred to, referenced by Paul in 2 Thessalonians 2:10 through 13. Here's the first one. I'm going to have to read this one to you, people. Jog your memories. Alright, make sure you call up the right one. Here we go. 2 Thessalonians 2:10 through 13. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. How many times have I had to read that one, people? Heard it before? Yep. Okay, now remember, over the last 2 years, we've had quite a few delusions, have we not? We've lived through them. Fictions for facts? Yeah. And by the way, no, we are never, ever, never, not never, going back to quote-unquote normal. So get over it. Hang that thought up. Ain't gonna happen. Well, you might have forgotten my promise to reveal the strong delusion mentioned by Paul, but I haven't. However, today's podcast isn't going to do much to enlighten you concerning just what is the strong delusion. And I'm going to tell you why that is in today's podcast. From the Wall, Saturday, 21st of May, 2022, or so they would have us believe that is the actual date. I seriously doubt it. So let's first start with what many noble and humble watchmen, including yours truly, believe the strong delusion, or I used to believe the strong delusion, is kinda, sorta, maybe, could be about. It's an off-world alien invasion, people, of demonic extra-dimensionals employing holographic technologies. You guys really ought to do some Googling and some YouTube videos on the 3D optical holograms. It's incredible technology. Son of a bitch. Laser projections and the voice-to-skull technologies, which, by the way, are all old news. Developed technologies only getting perfected as every day goes by. Very convincing. They can convince all the people their Messiah has come to save them. Yeah, a shit show in the sky, people. Jesus will appear to the Christians, Muhammad to the Muslims, and on, and so it goes. Simultaneously. One hell of a show. And of course the people will be deceived into believing in and worshiping a false god, a lesser god, a god of this world. I think we all know who that is. And there's actually, believe it or not, massive evidence to support this belief. I fell for it, much of which I did cover before in previous podcasts. Remember Geordie Rose, co-creator of D-Wave quantum computers? Quote, we are summoning demons, unquote. How about Elon Musk? Whatever they're doing, it's demonic. CERN and the Hadron Collider. trying to discover the God particle. Opening gateways, don't you know? Endless Hollywood productions from the 1950s on with the invaders from space, invaders from Mars, or invaders from Uranus. In fact, from the 1980s, do you guys recall this? And did I fail to mention Project Bluebeam? That's a very difficult subject to research. A lot of that has been scrubbed from the internet. It probably goes back 13, 15 years. But how about this one? I think I've played this before. And let me get the volume up on it. Early 80s, people.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Yeah. Wouldn't that just make things easier? Come on, people. We're going to need a world government. Remember Independence Day, the movie? When was that, in the 90s? Yeah, the world had to come together. Precisely why. And that they came together to fight the goddamn aliens from outer space. Precisely why the WHO wants to unify all the nations on Earth. Gotta fight these deadly pandemics, people. Gotta have a universal voice to do it. Hey, the more things change, the more they remain the same. I mentioned Project Bluebeam. Very difficult to research. Wasn't so hard to research years ago, but boy, somebody's been scrubbing that bitch off the internet. Okay, and even recently, let me read you an article here from the Sun. Oh yeah, I'll give you 2 witnesses on it, people. War of the Worlds. U.S. and Russian military have fired weapons at UFOs. Expert says after bombshell hearing reveals record encounters. And that was from May 20th. That was yesterday. The U.S. and Russia fired at UFOs, a leading expert told The Sun, with 100% certainty, despite official claims to the contrary. This question was posed to Scott Bray, the Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence, during last Tuesday's historic congressional hearing about UFOs. And I assume we've never discharged any armaments against a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, correct? Illinois Representative Raja, holy shit, Krishnamurthy Asprey. I was assuming this was the U.S. Congress. Oh, it is. It was chaired by Shifty Adam Schiff. That's correct, Bray responded. The issue was dropped, but the back and forth struck with Jeremy Corbell, who spoke to The Sun after the hearing. Corbell has been a leading force behind the movement to get Congress to hold this hearing, and was the only citizen mentioned by name during the discussions. Mr. Corbell and others have been collecting data on the issue for years, Congressman Andrew Carsa said. Corbell disagrees with the denials made on Tuesday. I can tell you with 100% certainty that we and other countries like Russia have fired upon UFOs, and I'm talking recently and regularly with an increased frequency. I don't want to bore you, but I'll just read a little bit more here. Corbell also claimed that the hearing witnesses, Bray and Secretary of Defense for Intelligence Security Rondell Moultrie, seemed to either sidestep questions by saying they'll discuss them in a private session. Oh yes, we must have a private session. Don't let the dumb guy know what we're up to. Or got them wrong, including that in disarming armaments. The witnesses were either uninformed, misinformed, or they were lying, he said. Yeah, imagine that. People would do that nowadays. I think they did the best job they could under the parameters they had, but they were a little daft on certain issues. All right. Now, can I back that up with the second witness? Well, it's funny you ask, people, because with my great computer skills, we're going to go right over here, and I got to look at Adam Schiff. Here we go.
What you see here is aircraft that is operating in a U.S. Navy training range that has observed spherical object in that area, and as they fly by it, they take a video. You see it looks reflective in this video, somewhat reflective, and it quickly passes by the cockpit of the aircraft.
And is this one of the phenomena that we can't explain?
I do not have an explanation for what this specific
object is.
I'll be damned. There you go. So what's my problem? Why can't I go down with this? I mean, why don't I just commit and say, yeah, this is the strong delusion? Well, I'm going to tell you why, people. If Paul had said delusions, I'd be down with this. I'd say, yep, this would be a damn good delusion. Will deceive many, no doubt about it. But here's my problem. When the Creator chooses to have the word strong precede the word delusion, I stand up and take notice. For the Creator I worship does nothing in a small way. In other words, a fake alien invasion, while very good, while very effective, it ain't good enough. And where's my evidence for that? Two of many Bible verses, people, and both found in the same chapter, chapter 24 of Matthew. Let's go ahead and read them. It will be painless. Come on, work with me. All right, the first one is going to be Matthew 22. Slide right over here to Matthew 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. No flesh, people. That's us. But that's also the animal bug world, too. Yeah, pretty serious warning there. Now, you know, these days shall be shortened. You could shorten them days, like the number of days. Oh, it should take 180 days. We'll shorten that down to 60 days. But I'll tell you what, and call me a kook, I think the 24-hour periods are being shortened. No matter what time I get up, no matter how much earlier I roll out when you're rolling over, I can't seem to get all the stuff I need to get done. It just seems like time flies, people. Do you experience that, or am I just a fucking kook? You know, it just seems like the days themselves. The sun must be moving quicker around the flat earth. I don't know. Odd, but you know, before you know it, it's noon, and I'll tell you what, my most productive time is in the wee hours to noon. Once the bar opens, I'm ready for a tall, cool, crisp Budweiser. Okay, and then the final verse, we'll have to go down here to 37, Matthew 24:37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Now, you're not going to understand what the days of Noah were by reading Matthew 24. You got to go back to Genesis 6, chapter 6. And that's quite an interesting story. Yeah, were they messing with the demons? You bet they were. Were they messing with the giants? You bet they were. How about the fallen angels? You bet they were. You think Geordie Rose and D-Wave and CERN and Elon Musk are trying to discover something new? Or are they trying to resurrect something very old, something very dark, and something very evil and sinister? So, I told you before a number of times, people, I'm no loose cannon on the deck. I don't go off half-cocked. Not me. Not no-how. Not never. In short, I strongly lean towards this one point. Whatever the strong delusion is, and it might even be a combination of events, it's gonna be huge. We ain't seen nothing yet. And it will be revealed to the humble watchman. So when I know more, you will know more. Hey, that didn't come out right. That sounds kind of arrogant, don't it? But I didn't mean it to be. Humility, people. My middle name. Now, I might just have to reward myself with a tall, cool, crisp Millennium Budweiser around noon when I have my stuff done. You know what, people? I'm going to start on it right now because I got stuff to do.